We've got lots of cruise news headlines to talk about over the last week for you to catch up on, including breaking news from a new motion filed against the CDC in Florida. Well, ahoy there, cruisers. We're Cruise with Ben and David. I'm Ben. Please hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out, and give us a like if you love the video. First up, Florida is seeking an immediate injunction to overturn the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, also known as the CDC, order that is currently blocking cruising from resuming in the USA. As you know, last week Alaska joined forces with Florida in a lawsuit against the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in an attempt to revoke that conditional sailing order. It threatens to destroy a whole second season of cruise, which is shocking. It'll be the second consecutive season that would be destroyed. But unsurprisingly, this was shot down in the Senate. Well, in breaking news today, Florida continues to put pressure onto the government to remove that conditional sail order. Florida has filed a motion in a district court in Tampa asking for an immediate injunction that would rescind the CDC's current orders. The motion reads, "Without this court's intervention, Florida will lose millions, if not billions of dollars. And if companies like Carnival follow through their threat to move operations abroad, the state of Florida may never be the same again." Wow, some serious words there. They're losing millions, if not billions of dollars. The CDC and the government really need to do something about this. Everywhere else is opening up to capacity. Why are they blocking cruise still? But we still can see this not going through. For some reason, the USA are dead set on not allowing cruise back anytime soon. Is this because they're offshore companies not paying tax in the USA? Are they being punished because of this? Well, maybe. Florida Governor Scott added, "With the way this is going, it seems that the CDC doesn't want the cruise industry to be in business because they are not setting the rules in a manner that the cruise industry feels that they can comply and safely return to work." Well, we always hope for the best though, so fingers crossed this does have some sort of impact. Next up, Disney Cruise Line. Disney Cruise Line have announced that they will require the vaccination for all over 18s on board their cruises. All guests must also present a negative COVID-19 PCR test. This must have been taken between 5 days and 24 hours prior to boarding, regardless of whether or not you have been vaccinated. And then in the terminal on embarkation day, another quick test, an antigen rapid test, will be administered before boarding. So that's 2 tests and a vaccine. Then once on board, you're going to have mask wearing except when dining, swimming or in cabins, social distancing, more cleaning and much more. They are taking this really seriously, aren't they? They're taking no chances at all. And it also looks like they will be requiring reservations on everything on board, including kids clubs, even the fitness centre and gym, and live shows. Virtual queues will be utilised for amenities including Goofy's pool deck area and the Aqualab deck area. So you're going to have to virtually queue for these things. But in good news, you're going to be able to make all your bookings beforehand on the Disney Navigator app 30 days before you sail. We're going to be booking a Disney cruise this Thursday, so stay subscribed for that. We're going to bring you all of the videos. And Disney Cruise Line have also revealed some new design details and inspiration for its brand new ship, the Disney Wish. The design has been inspired by 3 different core themes. These are fairy tale castles, forests and animals, and the spirit of the ocean. Sounds very Disney. A bronze statue of Cinderella will feature in the Grand Atrium. We're actually attending a virtual event that we've been invited to this week, so we'll bring you all of the news as soon as we have it. It sounds really exciting. Now for some UK news. There's more news from our government here in the UK on cruises starting next month. So they've set out some rules finally. It came late, but hey, when cruise ships are permitted to sail once again in UK waters, they will be initially restricted to 1,000 passengers, and all passengers must be residents of the British Isles. Groups of more than 6 people or 2 different households will not be allowed to mix indoors on the ship, whether or not they originally booked in the same group. These rules go up until at least June the 21st, and MSC are only one of the only cruise lines who are going to be sailing before this time. Our MSC Virtuosa cruise is going to be so lovely. We're sailing on the first sailing ever of the MSC Virtuosa on May 20th, so we'll be bringing you along. We're going to have the ship to ourselves. It's going to be less than 20% full, as the ship normally has a capacity up up to 5,000 people. So it's going to be lovely. No queuing for the bars, no lining in the buffets. It's going to be really relaxed. After June the 21st here in the UK, they're hoping to remove some or all of the restrictions. Does this mean that mask wearing could be scrapped? We hope so, but we can still see that being around for absolutely ages. And on that note about MSC have already said that port calls with embarkation and disembarkation will be managed through controlled tour excursions, supporting passengers to remain in bubbles to minimise the risk to communities. So this means no leaving the ship by yourself. So we're not going to be able to leave the ship in port and do anything by yourself. You're going to have to do it as part of a ship shore excursion. This makes no sense to us because we are all UK residents in our own country and we have no restrictions on travel in our own country. We see this as a little cheeky thing maybe. Are they making more money from excursions this way? We don't understand that, but we'll bring you all of the news once we're on our cruise. And next, some updates for those summer Caribbean cruises starting in June. Well, Bahamas have dropped COVID testing requirements for fully vaccinated visitors. So that's really good news. So beginning May the 1st, fully vaccinated visitors to the Bahamas will no longer have to provide a negative COVID-19 test upon arrival. So it means you don't have to do a test if you've been vaccinated, but you do have to be vaccinated. All people over the age of 18 on Royal Caribbean cruises, celebrity cruises, and proof of vaccination and that it's been 2 weeks since you've had the final dose will be all that is medically required to enter the country. So it's going to make it really easier for people planning on taking Adventure of the Seas cruises from Nassau. And whilst the island is desperate to get crews back and get back up and running with their tourism, not everybody is on board with the cruise restart. The president of the Bahamas Nurses Union said it's far too soon to relax any restrictions. The island currently has over 500 cases of COVID. So what do you think about this? Do you think it's the right time? I mean, cruising has to restart and tourism has to restart. Islands like the Bahamas rely on it so much, and without it, their residents are not making any money and the country's not bringing any money in either. Royal Caribbean are also working with airlines to be able to provide cheaper flights to ports in the Bahamas and Bermuda, with fares starting at just $99 per person for a round trip if you book them with Royal Caribbean. We did check out some flights to the Bermuda and the Bahamas, and booking with the airlines themselves, with American Airlines, Delta, JetBlue, really expensive. So it's really worth checking out these flights with Royal Caribbean first. We've seen them at 3 times the cost of $99. So next up, some good news for Alaska. Well, a river cruise line will be getting around the rules by sailing smaller American flagged ships from June this year. American Cruise Lines announced that it will be sailing from Alaska from June to September in 2021. They operate small United States built and crewed and flagged vessels which hold just 100 to 190 passengers. This way they can get around the USA cruise ban and the Passenger Vessel Services Act, which has been blocking some of the cruise lines sailing into Alaska. The cruises will be both 8-night and 11-night cruises aboard the American Constellation cruise ship, and they're going to be sailing the Inside Passage, which is in the southeastern region of the state. American Cruise Lines will sail with reduced capacity, pre-boarding testing, enhanced cleaning, medical staff, and much more. All cruises will also include a pre-cruise hotel night in Juneau, Alaska. So this is some good news for you guys in the United States. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Please do hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. And we've got 8 cruises this summer. Make sure you check out our video to see where we're going to be going and when. And a big thank you to all of our patrons as well. You guys are absolutely amazing. You really help support us. We bring you extra videos, behind the scenes footage, a live Zoom call every month, as well as postcards whilst we are away. Our captains of the week are Mary and David. So ahoy there, Mary and David. That's it till next time. Happy cruising.